Welcome back, everybody. Danny Sturgis here at the Denver Zoo because today we're talking about the Denver Colfax Marathon. We are less than 2 weeks away, and of course, we all know that the half marathon runs through the zoo, which is so awesome, and we are talking about that today. Andrea, how are you?
Great. It's a wonderful morning.
It really is, and we've been seeing a lot of activity with the animals. Everybody's out here today, which is so great. So, of course, the highlight, of course, is the half marathon running through the zoo. This is just so exciting. So it sounds like there's going to be an extended course through the zoo this year.
Oh, we're really excited to announce it. Last year we added the llamas and the hippos. This year we're going for giraffes and zebras. So the cool thing as a runner is they're watching you, you're not watching them.
Right.
So it's awesome. It's a whole different experience when you run through. And we'll be actually over a full mile in the zoo. So we're very excited about that. And it's the only one in the country that has a mile through a zoo for a marathon or half marathon.
I really like that too. That just makes it so much more exciting for the people running through. There's so much to see here. And you guys have been doing that for 10 years too. So people must be really excited to be able to run through and see these animals during their race.
Oh, it's great. And it's right around mile 3. So it just kind of gives you that extra spunk to move forward. And then as you're running through, you get to run through downtown. You're going to see the live firefighter calendar. And then at the end, you get this really cool medal that I have to say, because we're standing by the rhinos, has a rhino on it. So this is your half marathon medal. And then if you choose to run 2 days and run the 5K, you guys will get this holographic coaster. So all sorts of great bling when you run this year.
Yeah, that, and I mean, to me at least, is a reason to run just in itself. And Andrea, you know what? We're lucky enough today to be joined by some of the incredible athletes that are going to be running through the zoo in just a little bit. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Well, you guys all just kicked my butt in our tiny little race that we just had, so good job on that one. But TJ, I want to come to you first and ask you, you know, it's got to be so exciting running through the zoo. Do you just love being able to run with all of these incredible animals?
It is absolutely fantastic. It's like my own personal safari with thousands of my favorite running buddies. It is just so much fun.
I really like that. You know what? That is motivation in itself, too, to be able to run through. Coral, I want to come to you, too. Okay, so if this was me and I was running through the zoo, I would have to say I'd probably add about 2 or 3 minutes onto my time just stopping to look at all the animals. Do you ever get distracted running through here?
Oh, totally. I've had a couple of races where I'm going for a PR, so I'm gunning it to the finish line. But most of the time, I'm just here to have fun, and it's really fun to see all the animals. Like TJ said, it's our own personal safari, so.
I really like that. I think that's so great. Okay, Dominic, the tough question for you, always, right? No, I love this. So, you know, of course we know that you run through the zoo for the half, but there's got to be other amazing landmarks, too, that you get to be able to see. Are there other cool landmarks that you enjoy when you run the half marathon?
Pretty much the whole course. I love downtown. I love the zoo. I love the fire station. I love City Park. I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect day in Denver for running.
That is so great. Okay, guys, so we, of course, have plenty of viewers at home that are planning on running one of the incredible 7 races for the Colfax Marathon this year. I have to ask you each, there's got to be something that you do the night before the race to prepare, and everybody has something kind of fun and kind of crazy I love. So I'm going to ask you each, what's your night before routine?
Well, as runners, we do have our traditions. I like to do what is called flat TJ. So I like to lay out all my gear with my bib, and I've got to post it on social media, because if you don't post it on social media, are you really running a race? And then you got to have a carb-loaded dinner the night before, so.
Carb-loaded dinner. Okay, I'm going to have a carb-loaded dinner tonight and just tell people tomorrow that I'm running a race. I really like that. What about for you, Coral?
My routine's very similar. Always a flat coral on social media, because if it's not on social media, it didn't happen. Plus, that way people know, my friends know who to look for, what to look for. I always wear coral to my races, so I usually grab my coral Colfax jacket. And then I, too, look for any and every excuse to eat all the carbs. So I usually do that as well. Have some spaghetti and go to bed real early.
Okay, love that too. And I'm going to be wearing coral on the day just for you, just to go ahead and cheer you on. I love this. Okay, Dominic, you and I were talking about your race routine too before we started our interview, and I really like this. You have to tell our viewers at home what you do.
So what I do, I don't lay my clothes out. I just hope all my clothes are washed, and I can find them in the morning. But the night before, I eat a big bowl of pho. All the sodium, all the noodles, good carb, good sodium, keeps me going the next morning.
See, even our producers back at the studio are saying that that is yum and that is such a great idea. I absolutely love that. Well, you guys, thank you all for all of the tips. And everybody at home, make sure you stay with us today on Colorado and Company, because coming up, we're talking to Andrea again about some of the great things that you can expect day of the race. Not to mention, we're talking to Carly from the zoo. We're going to talk about all the great animals that you can see while you run through here. But for now, Claudia, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Danny, the Colfax Marathon is returning to May 14th through the 15th. Join Denver's largest running weekend for 7 races in 2 days. Find your race, volunteer opportunities, or where to cheer online at runcolfax.org. We're going to catch back up with Danny a little bit later on in the show.